Hello, this is Earl Alex, and this is the Black Arizona Podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for however you are getting this good conversation, good media, good content into your brain stem. Thank you very much for joining us here today. And I like to bring you guests that are, doing things. And when I found out about this person, I didn't know what to expect. I first heard that they were working with ASU, and then they're, doing things in the community, and I didn't know what to expect. But I really heard about them because they decided to help support, one of our initiatives, something that we're actually doing in September, a future event. From the time of this filming, called the House of Black. It's an event where it's a fundraising event that we're throwing to give back to the community, but also to raise funds so that we can do more in the community. And so when they ended up becoming an executive sponsor of our event, we are I already kind of heard his name before, just in conversation and around, but I didn't know who this individual was. And then to learn more about their impact in the community, I'm like, hold up, this is interesting. I'm interested in who I'm going to be sitting with. So Tyson Chop Douglas he actually brought this man to me, and we're now here able to bring him to you. So look, I want you to get to know him. I'm going to let him introduce himself, but there's a lot to speak about. We're going to be focusing primarily on his nonprofit efforts, but that's just not all he does. So go ahead, introduce yourself to the people and let them know who you are.
Yeah, man, my name's Ruben Gammage, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Been here for quite a while, so you can say I'm from Arizona now. Founder CEO of Team24 Community, and just an organization that I created and work with a great team of people to try to make a difference in the community and continue to try to build a community.
Nice. Now, first off, I can't let you get past the fact that you said you was from Louisiana. Now,
Right.
a lot of my family is from Louisiana.
Okay.
Yep. Thibodeau.
Thibodeau?
Yep.
Yeah, I was born and raised in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were right across the.
Yeah,
Yep.
right across the bayou. So got reverted here for Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what
Okay.
got me out here. So I've been out here since like 2006, 2007.
So actually, so if you've been out here since about 2006, 2007, and the 5-year rule in Arizona is after 5 years you're a native.
Right.
That's just kind of how that rock. We just accept you.
Gotcha.
But it seems like what, about shortly after that, 5-6 years after that, you were seeing a need in the community and you came up with your nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. It kind of started, man, when I was like I said, I started coaching. I came on as an assistant coach for a flag football team over there in South Phoenix, on 16th Street and Broadway. And I came with a lot of energy, a lot of grit at what I brought to the table. So after about a year or two, we had about 2 flag programs over there. And a lot of the parents started seeing my passion on me coaching and stuff like that. So after the second year, we had a banquet, and they came on and presented me with an award of like the head coach.
Oh,
And I was like,
nice.
man, I'm not the head coach. And they was like, man, the energy, the effort you put into our boys, like I was picking kids up. I was letting them stay by my house for the weekend to get to football games and certain things like that. So just fast forwarding a little bit, within that next year, I got voted to be the president of American Youth Football. And then a year after that, I wound up taking over and went from 2 flag football teams to about 450 kids in the program. And then when I took over as that
Wow.
program, like I started changing the dynamic of, what's capable with the youth and stuff like that. And that's when I started noticing the need. I started getting deeper into the kids and what they were going through. Like I was having kids come to my house, haven't eaten. I was having kids not being able to afford cleats, not just so much stuff. And I was like, man, this is something bigger than just me coaching youth football.
Yeah.
And then it was crazy. I was having kids that was getting beaten. I was having kids that was just had no clue. I was following kids that's in junior high dropping out of school at junior high.
Wow.
So it just gave me a different perspective, and I realized how I came up in New Orleans and was like, yeah, no. Like, if I had somebody to help me and steer me in the right direction, I think I would have ended up a little bit different. No regrets. But I just felt like, with the knowledge I had and the things that, I had access to, that I was able to make a change. So
yeah,
that's kind of when the whole Team 24 community kind of thing started a little bit. It started basically from me coaching.
Okay. And the name of your nonprofit is Team24 Community.
Correct.
And you started it when?
So right when I started that was like 2007, 8, couple years I started that. So around 2013, 12, 13, I was like, okay, these kids can't afford this. These kids can't do this. I was like, what can I do to provide programs to where these kids can actually afford to play? So I started trying to come up with selling cookies, car washes, like all these different things to raise money to get these kids cliques and make sure they eat and all this other stuff. So we would do a lot of little small events here and there. And then finally one day I was like, you know what, man, I'm about to make this, like I don't want these kids to pay for nothing. So I reached out to the community and I was like, look, man, we about to have this food drive with a car wash and everything. So I called out for the community and we wound up having 24 volunteers show up.
Oh, nice.
To that event to help support. And it was like, that was kind of the kickoff right there. And I was like, okay, well, I see the community also see that there's a need as well, because that many people showed up to help me create this fundraising event.
And when people are there ready to work.
Yeah, man, they were there. So at that point I was like, okay, we have something here. And then from there, we just it continuously started growing and growing and growing, and now it is what it is today.
Okay, how'd you come up with the name Team24 Community?
Well, it was kind of a mixture because, as far as the kids I had, I started a club team where we was able to, a lot of the really talented we would travel. So when we would travel and stuff a lot, we was a really good travel team. And a lot of the kids wasn't used to going, like we were traveling to Texas, California, and I was raising funds to do all that. And then we were so good for a while. They used to be like, man, that's the, our name was different, but it was like, oh, that's them Arizona boys.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that's them 24 Arizona boys. Because our name used to be 24 something. So it was just something that I think God brought up on me between the 24 people that showed up for the volunteers. When we would travel, people kind of knew who it was, and they knew us as Arizona. Like they knew when we went somewhere, those boys was from Arizona. So, it was just something that we just put together, man, and it ran. So like a lot of people knew who we was. So I contribute the name to a certain set of kids that started that back then. And the crazy part about it is like 5 or 6 of those kids I still know to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's relationship. And when it comes to Team24 traveling and like they know you guys as the 24 Arizona boys and things like that, did being looked at as coming from Arizona, did it give people like, like a thought about y'all? Did it make people
because
look at y'all differently in a way?
because a lot of people wasn't doing that before. Because like Arizona, really, people would be like traveling, like the kid, we can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
We can't do that. So when they seen it, was like, oh man, Arizona got some talent. Like they got some good kids. So that's what really started making a staple of that name, because people start realizing like, man, them dudes got some dudes coming out of there.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of really brought it up. But as we went on, man, I just started realizing that it started becoming bigger than sports.
Mm-hmm.
So then eventually I kind of walked away from the coaching. I started getting job offers in high school. I went coached in high school for a couple of years. And then after that, I was just like, okay, what I'm doing is becoming bigger. The impact for the need and stuff is bigger. So I wound up walking completely away from coaching and then just started kind of working on the Team 24 community full time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to know, like, so when others are like, oh, them Arizona boys, did they say that in a way they were talking
Out
up
of respect.
out of respect?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it
Like,
was more out of respect, like, hey man, y'all better come with it. Like these dudes, like for real. And when we would come, we was fulled out all Under Armour. We was like,
okay, so
and
y'all
they walk with confidence
so you put on
with
for
a
the state
swag.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
y'all was
they
putting on for the
yeah,
state.
they knew, right?
Mhm.
So, and we got a lot of it out there, like online. Like we was going to Texas. We went out to Texas. We won it in Texas. We went out to Vegas. We was winning. We went out to California. We was winning. So it was just something that they
And what
kind of
league
knew.
was this?
This was American Youth Football
American
and
Youth
Red
Football.
Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Red Zone.
And Red Zone. Yeah.
So are those like those are national
Yeah.
leagues? Okay. See,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know sports like that. So
Right.
you could educate me all you want
Right.
on
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
'cause
And
I'm
I
gonna need
thought,
it.
yeah, no, I thought it was huge too, because a lot of times too, the biggest thing, man, and to kind of piggyback off of it is what really made me disturbed to really push away from it was, I was doing pretty good for myself. I had a good job or whatever. And, a lot of my kids would always tell me, because, I wore the Jordans. I had a decent car or whatever. And my kids would be like, Coach, you a drug dealer, huh?
Ugh.
And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man, you always got some of the newer Jordans on and, you got a car with this on it or whatever. And I'm like, so your mindset is, if I have something that's decent, either I'm a drug dealer, I'm a football player, I'm a rapper, so I just can't be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I can't be a businessman,
Yeah.
right? So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and a lot of our young kids have that mentality.
Yep.
So if I don't make it to the league, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
And then some years ago, I had a situation where one of my kids, one of the top kids, man, I mean, he's a beast. Like we just knew he was gonna make it. And come time to it, he wasn't getting the scholarships and stuff that he thought that he was gonna get. And I got a call one day about him committing suicide. And
Sorry
to
to
this
hear.
day,
Sorry.
and they really
My
felt like it had a
condolences.
lot to do with pressure and just not getting where he thought he was gonna get. And then that's when I started realizing, when I first started learning about mental health. And then I was like, okay, all right. Got Team 24 Community. At first it was about sports and stuff like that. But like now as young men, I'm realizing, okay, this is what mental health is. Like,
Yeah.
do we really know what these kids go through at home? Do we really know what they go through at school? So, I'm kind of a nerd in a sense where I like to think about how the brain and stuff work.
Yeah.
So, the way life and stuff happened, it just had me really starting to redirect from away from sports and really get into the mental health, get into the community building, get into providing resources for the people in our community to let them know that, hey, we can glorify you, we can praise you, and it don't have to be because, you know, you are a football player or you're a basketball player or you're a drug dealer. Like we can support and do the things that can uplift you in different ways.
Yeah.
So all of those things that I was going through is really what helped me develop the whole Team 24 community concept.
That's awesome. Honestly, and it's each of those parts are needed. My son is into basketball heavy.
Right.
So I see how him, dealing with the challenges of keeping up with being an athlete, keeping up in school, and then also keeping up with his friends group and his support group, how that all lends to him having good mental health. It makes him solid and stable in areas that when I was growing up, I wasn't, because I wasn't into sports like that, but I ain't had much to occupy my time as much. So I was into other things. But I really think that giving, youth the option and allowing them to express themselves physically, hone their skills, see what they can do, test themselves. All that comes in with sports. It really helps you to grow and mature. And so having that paired along with the skills that they will, the skills that they would need to cope, that they would need to have good mental health, is an awesome mixture for them, I think. Over the years, can you say, like, can you let me know about maybe a story or two about, say, one of the children through the program that you've helped, or something that really is stuck out about what you do?
Man, it's crazy, man. And a lot of people don't understand how much pressure, especially with social media, that these kids go through. Like
Mm.
it's a lot, right? Just a couple things, man. It's crazy that I have horror stories, I have success stories. It's times where I wanted to give up. I want to say two or three. I got two or three kids right now doing life in jail for murder.
Sorry to hear.
So times where I had one of my kids call me right after he did it. Didn't call family, didn't call me, and was like, "Coach, I messed up. I screwed up. Like, what do I do?" Like he's crying, he's crying, he's crying. And it hurt me because right before then, like a couple days ago, he had told me, he was like, "Coach, I'm going through stuff. I don't know how to deal with it. Can we meet up one day and just talk?" And I kept telling him, I was like, "Yeah, man, we can." I was like, let me just fix my schedule and I'll let you know. And then that happened. So that hit me, was like, man, if I would have made myself available a little bit sooner, could I have prevented him going through what he was going through?
Yeah.
So that hit me kind of different, man. And then that's when I was like, okay, I need to get bigger. I need to make my network bigger, because I realized that I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
So I need to reach out to other people like myself and continue to try to grow and put them in different positions where they're able to really help me accomplish the goal that I really want to accomplish. So that's also what really made me want to push Team 24 Community, because to me, I feel like our young Black men is really a big staple of us in becoming more successful as a country, as a state, as a universe.
Yeah.
And learning how to treat women, how to respect women,
Mm-hmm.
how to let men know that it's okay to be in our feelings. It's okay for us to, like, I'll say on live, wherever we at, I cry. Sometimes I wake up and I just cry in my bed, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, right? I cry, I get it out because I'm emotional about something. And then after I cry, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let me go back out there and do that.
Yep.
But letting other people know, like, hey, it's okay. It's okay for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's like one of more of the horror stories, I have. One of the success stories I would say I have, the one kid that I told you that was back in 13, that was with me, met him, whatever. After a couple years, he was like, "Coach, man, you want to be my God, my God dad or whatever." I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
His God dad, I enrolled him in school. I did everything. Like, everybody just knew he was going to be one of the first ones in jail in the community. And you fast forward to it, man, and he stuck with me. He was going up and down. He listened to me. Man, at this point now in life, he works for me full time. Um, he he brought himself, he's 22. He brought himself a condo in Scottsdale for his 20th birthday. He purchased his own car. He paid off his own car. He got his own place. He's actually working right now to buy his mom her first house,
Nice.
right? He's not a ball player. He's just a hard-working young man. And he's working right now to start his own business.
That's
He
awesome.
walks around me
If you
as
don't mind me asking, do you mind shouting out him and his business in case anybody would like to support and patronize?
he's still working on it right now. He has a
Okay.
couple different things that he's looking at, but he's working on his business plan. He's working on a lot of different things right now. He's working on still trying to get some of his buddies. Like, he's even taught me, he's learning about stocks.
Oh,
He
nice.
just got his passport. He's about to go. I think he said he's about to go to Italy. He's planning a trip to Italy for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's like he's in a position as a 22-year-old that he can go out of country for 3 weeks and be okay, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
wonderful.
so right now, you know, he's the youngest of three, and he's taking care of his mom and all his brothers. Like
That's the change we're trying to see
right,
and help people to get to in their lives. That's why we try to present to you information that'll help you to get there, but then also people that are making that happen for others so you can assist them. And while you're doing that, you may learn a thing or two for yourself. Now, that's awesome that he's able to get that from working with you and that you've been able to help people to find the opportunity in their lives to do better. When it comes to team uh team 24,
right,
and what does it take to be a part of that? But real quick, I do want to say I want to touch on something that you said earlier. I want to say when you were talking about, hey, you know, waking up in the morning, maybe sharing some emotion and then going on and getting it and doing what you got to do.
right,
I found that being secure in your masculinity is just is about being open with your vulnerability. And then, you know, vulnerability isn't such a negative thing. It's just the ability to be hurt, and that's okay, because then you can heal. You know, the root of that word, I looked it up before. The Latin root of the word is um, open to being wounded.
right.
So when you're vulnerable with somebody, that means they can say something and you just be open to being wounded, but you know that you'll heal from it, or that it's okay. You know, you can go through that wounding
But
and
but
make
but
it to
my
the other
question
side.
to you is,
Yeah.
and this is where I think where we got to break the curse, like
What's up?
people like us, is
Yeah.
when we grew up when we were younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say for instance, if you have a little sister and your little sister fall off the couch, what's mom and dad and everybody gonna do? They're
Oh, they
gonna
gonna run
run
and go
over there.
grab her.
Hey,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
everything will be okay. But if that's the boy falling off, man, suck that up.
yeah. Of
Don't
course.
cry.
Stand up.
So as young men, especially as colored young men, we was always taught to, hey man, suck it up.
Yeah.
Hit your chest 3 times. Like it's like you don't cry, we man up.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start growing, you understand that in your mindset, oh, I can't show that. Like I gotta be tough. Like I can't cry. So we already have that instilled in us already that we can't cry. So then when you add that now to social media,
Oh yeah.
that oh, I gotta be tough now, it's really hard to break that curse. It's really hard to break that cycle. And the only way we're gonna do it is by community.
Yep.
The only way we're
100%.
gonna do it is if you get like-minded people like us that understands that it's okay. So sometimes I shoot, if I do cry, I call my godson, be like, man, I just cried, man. Like I just need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times he don't even understand what I'm going through, but the fact that he know I can call him and cry on the phone with him, realize that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, I'm okay with my masculinity. I'm okay where I'm at. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. A it's not a deal breaker for who I am for me to show you
Facts.
a side of me where I may be hurting.
Right.
Actually, that makes you stronger. And a lot of people can't do that. Like they have a hard time with that. And it's good to be able to show that and connect people with that side of you, because then it helps them to bring that side out of them and feel okay and heal in those areas of
Right.
their life. And as a people, we need that. So there's a lot there. But with Team 24, what does it take for somebody to be a part of that nonprofit? Like a child, say they're interested in like joining up or learning from you.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Just hit us up on social media. Man, we have so many things that we've been doing in the community that people don't know. We do clinics. We actually have a physical space over on 24th Street and University,
Okay.
where we created a platform for people. So like once a month right now, what we do is we create a workshop, a free workshop for everybody. And what that workshop
Please
is,
share that with the people and with us, so we could be pushing that in the
yeah,
group.
so you know, what we do is we reach out to a lot of people and see what's something that we can use to better our community and what we do. So we just had one last month, and it was a tax class. So I went and got one of the top tax accountants out in Arizona, and I got them to come. It's 10 to 15 seats. The first 10 to 15 people sign up, they get it for free. So when you come there, he talked about registering your business, good taxes, how to do tax write-offs, all of these different things about taxes, you got free game. So we hire these people to come in to do these classes, and then you ask. Before that, we had a LLC workshop where we had a professional come in. If you want to start an LLC, they're gonna help you start an LLC. They're gonna tell you all of the pros, all of the cons, different from LLC, sole proprietorship. So whatever it is, so what we do is we try to find different things that the community need and resources, because that's the biggest thing I hear. We don't have the resources. So what I want to do is go create that and say, oh, okay, hey, let me go get to what do you want to do? You want to do credit repair? All right. Who's the most successful credit repair person in Arizona? Let me go hire you. You come in, the first 10 to 12 people sign up, you get all this free knowledge. So now I want to be that bridge to where us as people, we can't use that as an excuse no more about we don't have the resources, because now I'm trying to create a platform for you to have these resources. So now at that point, what's that excuse? So that's one of the things we do. So by you following us on Instagram or social media, you'll see, if you go in there now, you'll see some of the previous workshop flyers and stuff we have. So that's the biggest thing, is creating those kind of resources. So I would say if you want to get involved in stuff like that, go on and we also got a website. It's team-24.org, and we have all of the information there. So it's simple. You know, we have programs where different college kids, if you need college credits for volunteers, we do stuff where we work with St. Vincent de Paul. We work with the food bank. We work with, I want to give a shout out to Cass. I'm not sure too many people familiar with that. So just past Friday, we had an event where we teamed up with Cass. That's one of the biggest homeless shelters in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I think I might have heard.
Yeah. So my clothing company, we went there and they had about 300 women there. So my clothing company donated about 400 pieces of clothing to them, and we got toothbrushes and all of those different things. And we actually teamed up with ASU's girls basketball team, their coach, and we partnered, and we all went down to the shelter, and we set up. We gave each lady 2 or 3 outfits. We gave away shoes. We gave away just tons of stuff. And then the people of CAS came out, the marketing director, the program director came out. We networked with them. We talked to them. Now they want us to come back and do different things. We possibly going to be working with ASU boys basketball team possibly now. And it just continued to create more opportunities. Channel 3 came out because they heard about what was going on. They interviewed me. They interviewed the coach of ASU. And now those girls from ASU girls basketball team was able to give back. They was able to get their exposure. And now a lot of the homeless women there was asking them for their autographs and stuff. So now those
That's
ASU
awesome.
girls have created something else where now they understand that it's bigger than them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the biggest thing we do for Team 24 Community, is to continue to create those opportunities for a lot of people. So we have tons and tons of opportunity for people to volunteer and get involved.
That's beautiful. Now, real quick, I know we're focusing on the nonprofit, but you also do a lot around the valley when it comes to different things, like different things going on.
Facts.
Is there anything that you're at liberty to speak about, or anything that you may have coming up that you want to share?
Yeah, man, we have a lot, man. It's crazy. So we do something similar to what you guys do, right? So we do one major fundraiser a year. Ours is a gala. It's October 12th
This
of
was
this
gonna be a
year.
gala. The House of
Yeah,
Black was the House of Black gala.
yeah.
But yeah, we ended up
So what we did was we started last year with it, and it went amazing. So what we do is we created to where we give away 6 scholarships to student athletes.
okay.
But to be able to qualify, you have to send us a video of why do you think you're deserving of it, your sport, and what is your plans if you don't make it in sports. That's the only way you can qualify.
Okay.
So our goal is to teach them what is your backup plan, right? We're working on public speaking. We're working on what's your backup plan. So we're creating this thing a lot of times for the students. So we did it last year. It was amazing, man. Like, people did not know it was at the Arizona Grand, and people did not know we had about 225 people there. We had Darrell Cunningham with Channel 3 News. He was the host. We reached out to Chavez Band. We let them come perform. I did a fashion show of my line. So I hired a local interior designer, and she reached out. I told her I only want models, interior designers that are not big time, up and coming ones. So
Yeah.
I created this fashion show for all of them to come to be able to walk and showcase their talent in the fashion show.
Yeah.
So that's another thing about Team 24 Community is creating opportunity and resources. So we had such a good feedback from that. This year is coming back even stronger.
Oh, nice.
So this year we had Javier Soto. He's the main guy with Channel 15. He heard it kind of about what was going on. He came down to our spot, did an interview with me. After interviewing me, he was like, "Man, I want to do a doc on you, man. What you doing is impactful. I would be honored to be the host this year of your gala." So
that's awesome.
Javier Soto, he's going to be the host. I reached out to a buddy of mine, DJ Freshmaker. He does Sugar Jam and all that, so he's going to be my DJ for that day.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had got a call. I went and met with 98.3 about 3 weeks ago, and they heard about what's going on. So they're coming on as one of my top sponsors.
Awesome.
So they're going to be interviewing, doing live ads on the radio. So they're going to be there. So it's going to be huge, man. And like I said, we're going to be giving away 6 scholarships again. And honestly, man, it's about celebrating. So real quick, we decided to call it draft night.
Nice.
Right? And why we came up with that concept was, once again, when you're talking about sports and things like that, what is the percentage of athletes being able to get drafted? It's like 1-2%.
Yeah.
Everybody's dream is to be put in that position to experience that. So what we did is we're recreating draft night for them.
Okay.
So when they come there, they're coming up with red carpet. They're coming up with the paparazzi. They're coming up with plated dinner. We're making sure that we're assisting them and dressing up if they need tux, if they need shirts, and it's for all sports.
The whole nine. Huh?
The whole 9.
Okay.
So this year, man, it's going to be at the Chateau Lux.
Nice.
We upgraded this year, and we're expecting about 300 to 350 people there this year.
Now, no lie, we were shooting to do the House of Black at Chateau Lux. That's where we originally were trying to get that done, and we through logistics and
Right.
and trying to make everything work and bring about the best event we can. We are now at the La Princess and I think it's like it's off of Bethany Home, the Bethany
Gotcha.
Home La Princess one. They
Gotcha.
have like 3 locations out here,
Okay.
and so we're there. But when is your event? And again, draft night is the name of it. But when is your event? And
October
it's
12th.
at Chateau Lux.
Yes.
October 12th, draft night, Chateau Lux, fundraiser event. That's gonna be awesome. That's great. Look, and he already is supporting ours. He is an executive sponsor of the House of Black. Ours is in September, his is in October. And so be prepared for these great events where you have an opportunity to give back and support us there.
So one last thing before we go, I want people to pay attention to what he just said as well. He said, I have an event, and our events are almost similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did not let that disturb me from supporting the Black Arizona and the movement you guys have.
And we're not going to stop. We're going to support yours too.
So that's the biggest thing that I want people to know in this group is that even though you may have the same business or the same goals as someone else in the group, that does not mean you can't support them.
Yep.
So even though you guys was doing it, I didn't look at it as in, oh man, I'm not supporting them, man. They're whack or whatever because they're doing what I'm doing. No, man, how can I support him? It doesn't matter if he's doing the same thing I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, that's what I want people to know and understand, man. Just because somebody else is in your same field or they're doing the same thing that you're doing, that doesn't mean you can't support them. Because
100%.
me and my team will be at the Black Arizona fundraising event.
Yep. And we will be at your event. We're going to look, I'm going to make sure we're going to be there.
Facts. And that's what it's about. And I think that's how we're going to grow as a community. And I think that's how we're going to take the next step in Black Arizona podcast. So I want to challenge everybody in the group. They say it's almost 20,000. I want to challenge everybody in the group to be able to support one another. Like, somebody start a post on there and be like, hey, this is my business. Go follow my page.
Yeah.
And we return the favor, man. Let's stop talking about it and be about it.
Heck yeah, that's what it is. And that's why we do this here on the Black Arizona podcast, is to bring you the things and the people and the initiatives and the efforts that we all need to be about together. And if we unify, we can do it all. Like, it's a whole misnomer in the mind thinking that, oh, I need my little slice and you can't have, or you can't know about what I'm doing. Like, come on now, stop it. We got to come together. We got to lift each other up in what we're doing. And I thank you very much for joining us here, for stopping by, for communicating with us, for letting us know about what you got going and what you're doing, for all the work that you've already put into the community. And it seems like the work you're continuing to do is going to do nothing but grow and change more lives for the better. Yep. I need you to introduce yourself one more time and let people know how they can connect with you again, so that all of our watchers, viewers, listeners, and our group can support you and make sure that we're getting behind all that you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, my name's Ruben Gammage. Like I said, the best way to contact with us is through Instagram 24 Community. We have Facebook as well. And then also we have a website. It's www.team-24.org. We have all our stuff across all the platforms. And we do a lot, man. We want to work with small business as well. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of connections. So, if it's something that you want to know, something you need help with, reach out. I have a huge team. I have a team of like 8 or 9 people.
Nice.
Of my core team, and we'll do whatever we can to be able to assist.
Awesome. Hey, I want to thank you all for joining us here on the Black Arizona podcast. This has been a great discussion. This is Earl Alex, and we've been here with Ruben Gammage, Team 24 Community, and he is trying to uplift the community through sports, mental health, events, and more. So stick with us, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell button, follow, download, share, do all of those things, because it means a lot and it makes a difference. Thank you again. See you next time. It's the Black Arizona Podcast.